Hey y'all, welcome to Freedom Makers. I'm Amanda, and today y'all, I'm gonna go check out the garden. We had quite a gully washer last night come through, and I'm afraid we might have some damage down here in the garden, so we're gonna have to see. We had hard rain, really hard rain for like 8 hours, 10 hours, something like that, a long time, all night. And so I'm out here this afternoon and it's looking rough. There's a lot of erosion, so I thought I'd show you guys. Well, y'all, it gets worse as I go down. You can see, like, all of this had a good 6 inches, almost 8 inches of compost on top of the newspapers. So to give you guys a reference of what's happened. And there are just these deep ruts. You can see where it came down and went out on this side, down here. Like, the edge of the garden is right here, but I've got compost all the way down here. You can see right here, these are pretty deep ruts from erosion. Good old Mother Nature trying to do her best, or her worst. Oh, goodness. So, I've got a good bit washed off, but I'm not going to let that get to me. We'll probably rake up what we can and put it back if we can. We left our hose down here, but it's pretty thick right here. It's real packed in. But I'm hoping I can pull some of this back up and put it back up on the garden. So perhaps I won't have to use another load of compost to fill in the gaps, because I mean that's pretty deep ruts there. Let's go check out the potatoes. So this is my view as I'm walking down to the potato patch. We have this huge grouping of trees that shields the rest of the garden from the road. So, like, if you don't know this is down here, you would never see it from the road. I like that. So you guys can see, like, my potatoes are coming up. I don't know how well you can see that, but these are 4 of them coming up pretty good. This row was planted before these 2 rows were, and that's all that's planted here right now. I'm thinking over here on this side we may do some pumpkins or something. I'm not sure. But this is really deep. I mean, there's a good foot drop here on the side where the water came down. And these are my footprints. I tried to walk through here. It didn't work out. they're a good 6 inches probably in there in places. So I might have to go around the other way because I've got this tree blocking right here to see the rest of my garden. On my walk over, y'all, I started smelling honeysuckle and I found it. Look at these beauties. They're just starting to, some of them pop open. Most of them are still just little buds, but oh, they smell wonderful. These are all up in here. Look at that. It's almost that time of year again. I love making honeysuckle tea. Here's my garden, y'all. Before I take too good a look at it, I'm going to show you guys the hackberry trees I was telling you about. This is one here. It's got beautiful purple flowers, and these will turn to berries. And I'm trying to see, here's a branch with some on it from last year. I don't know how well y'all are going to be able to see that. There you go. Those are like overgrown, over dried out berries. But those are what I was talking about on my live stream the other day. I do like to pick those when I find branches that are low enough, and we pulverize them in the food processor and make cookies. This winter I can show you guys how we do that. Here we are, y'all. Got a couple things growing out here. It looks like, though, that the rain mostly stayed in the trenches. Like, that's wonderful. So in between the rows is where it's tended to stay, and it looks like it just went all the way down. There is a pond back here I showed you guys a while ago, and that's where all of our water runs off to, is this pond back here, which is great because sometimes it gets really dry in our area. When we have a drought, this portion of our yard never gets completely, totally dried out. There's also an underwater spring here. that keeps the water, or keeps the ground fairly moistened, but not so moistened that I'm afraid my plants are going to rot. So this is like the perfect spot. It gets good sun most of the day. The only concern I'm really having is this grouping of trees right here. In the morning time, not too much, this is the east, so not too much sun comes in early morning. So I'm thinking that'll be good when I'm picking stuff all summer, but at the same time, I'm not sure if this portion here of my garden is going to get all the sunlight that it needs. So, I mean, this year is a big experiment. We're putting a lot of stock in this, hoping that it'll work out. But while I'm here, y'all, I'll go ahead and show you. I've got some okra in this row. This row is lima beans. You can see my little lima beans. And then my green beans are taking off great here. And then this last weekend, I planted these next 4 rows. So nothing's really coming up there yet. But also I planted down at the very end. There are mounds. There's 20 mounds down here. Let's go check those out. Y'all, as I'm walking, I'm seeing that there was so much runoff. I really am afraid that my seedlings, or my seeds, have all been washed away. I don't know. Because some of them I didn't plant very deep, you know. Like I planted some eggplant and pepper seeds, and those were pretty shallow. So I don't know. I'm going to wait a week and see if I see any sprouts. And if I do, and they're, you know, still where they're supposed to be, we're good. But if not, y'all, it's just looking real washed out right here. You can see like these rows aren't very defined anymore. On this side, it seems like they're fine. There's plants planted and the rows are up where they're supposed to be. But over here, it looks like they're flattened out pretty well. So, I don't know. We'll have to see. I think if I wait a week to check, it won't be a disaster. So, I don't know. That'll have been a week and a half since I planted, if I check them in about a week. And by then I ought to see some germination. If not, I'll have to replant. We'll just be a week behind. Alright, y'all. This is looking rough. So, over here is the potatoes. And then up here is where I was a while ago. Down here in the corner, we have 20 mounds. Or had 20 mounds. Oh, gravy. So, oh, y'all. It looks like the mound that was there and there, those are gone. That was pumpkins. So I've still got 2 mounds for pumpkins. That row, or that mound out there looks like it's a goner. There's a whole big rut back there, and so this soil is really sandy, and what happens with the sandy soil is that it washes out real easy and then it packs, like it's compacted now. So any seeds that washed off are going to be so packed down into the sand that it's just like they're not going to come up. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated. But, you know, all you can do is replant and pray and hope for the best. I'm hoping some of these still come up, and if not, you know, I'll just have to replant. So, it's a little frustrating. All I can do is replant, but I think I'm going to wait about a week. We are forecasted to have a good 4 days of rain next week, or later on this week, actually. So, anyway, I don't want to plant yet again, because if I have to plant again after that, if this just happens again, I'm running too low on seed to chance that. So I'm thinking I'm just going to wait and see what happens, and if anything comes up, it does, and if not, I'll replant in a week and a half or so, and that'll just have to do. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. I appreciate each of you, and I'll catch you guys next time. Oh man. Yuck.